Great mom's life. This is exactly the way she wanted. She's much more of let's get friends and family together than to have a funeral or something like along those lines. So I'm sure she's smiling down at us all right now for us having the fellowship that we're having. So the way this is going to work is we're going to share the mic and pass it around and let people celebrate Mom the way they want to celebrate her.
Good luck. Good luck, I know.
Okay, cry, she said. So I'll start off with her, a little bit of her life history, and then I'll do my tribute to her, and then we'll just pass the mic and go from there. We'll stay here as long as we want to stay. After we're all done, if people want to stick around and continue fellowship and continue to eat, we brought some games and we can do that, so we hope people will stick around when we're done with that. So here we go. So Mom was born February 21st, 1943 in Culver City, California to Jim and Pat Fife. Gramps and Grandma had moved to California where he was welding ships for the war. Gramps shipped off with the Navy to the South Pacific, so Grandma and Mom went to Kansas to stay with Grandma's family. After the war, they all moved back to Ketchum. So Mom had a great childhood growing up in rural Ketchum, Sun Valley area, and I guarantee it's not like it is today. I mean, I remember when I was 6 years old, you could cross the highway right there and walk up Elkhorn Lane and actually catch rabbits and do things like that. But she was a dancer and academic. She was the drill team captain, homecoming queen, national merit semifinalist, and salutatorian. And I think she kind of got gypped out of being valedictorian because somebody moved in and had connections.
And she was pissed about it.
Yeah.
Brothers get pissed. And I think it happens generationally because the same thing happened to my daughter Erin.
And Claire.
Oh, wow.
So I think we got a shitload of salutatorians from Alabama. Alright. So, after graduating from Wood River High School, Mom went to Barnard College in New York. I don't think she enjoyed it. Certainly not her type of people or private school in New York City, being from small rural Ketchum, Idaho. And she just might have missed a man named Chuck. After that year, Barnard, Mom and Dad continued their relationship and got married. She raised kids and worked to help Dad get through college. In 1972, we moved to Phoenix. Mom was very active in the community. She ran and became school board president of one of the fastest growing school districts in the nation. She also went to Arizona State at the same time to get her RN degree, graduating at 38. All this while raising 3 boys and helping Dad with the insurance business. The woman could get things done. After we moved back to Idaho in 1981, Mom went back to school to get a teaching certificate as there was no need for another RN in Chalice. And it wasn't easy. I remember I came back from college and I was going to go skiing with a buddy at Idaho Falls, and I think the roads were so bad going over Willow Creek Summit that I actually put my ski goggles out to navigate us getting over the summit. Because she was going back and forth to Idaho State that year to get her degree, or get her teaching certificate. She was soon teaching high school along with Dad. She taught almost everything and won many Teacher of the Year awards. She initiated a debate team, and some of the debate teams here, because I think I rode on the bus with some of them, with them. She initiated the debate team, the Celebration of Excellence program, and put Pacimaroy Run bus driver on her resume too. Night shift sheep herd. She's also night shift sheep shed tender.
Wow.
After retirement, the folks spent lots of time visiting their kids and grandkids. She also volunteered her time in soup kitchens and tutoring underprivileged kids. She always had a soft kind heart, especially for the underdog, and those who need it most. All right, in 2008, folks sold the ranch and moved to coastal Oregon. It was important to Mom that they have another river for the grandkids to play and swim in. It suited the 6 of them just fine. She spent lots of time reading, mowing the few-acre lawn. I think she even ruined her knee doing it, because it wasn't just a nice flat lawn. It had plenty of holes and puddles in it. And then she started writing, and those of us that have read her short stories know that they're truly amazing. Unfortunately, at a too young an age, she started slipping as dementia set in. She always struggled with that possibility since her own mother got dementia in her late 60s. Having an ample body without a fully functioning brain terrified her. She realized she was slipping and even wrote about it. Those stories were really tough to read. Sometimes life just isn't fair.
Married this guy.
I'll get through it. Almost done. Even with her dementia, she always was touched on her birthday when friends, family, and former students reached out to her, and she surely was. I mean, you could see how loved she was by her former students because the Facebook messages on her birthday went for pages. So she was really touched by that, and we knew that she touched a lot of people. So you could see that spark in her eyes and smile when people would reach out. And I'll never forget the last time she remembered who I was. It was her last birthday in February on the 21st. Luke had brought her ice cream to the memory care unit and called me so we could sing happy birthday. And she didn't remember who Luke was when he was first there, but as soon as I said happy birthday, something sparked and she said, "Hi, Mikey Pie, Luke brought me ice cream." So Mikey Pie was my name for her name for me. I can't believe I just shared it.
Forever.
But my daughter shares it freely, so.
Yes.
So I sought the best happy birthday I could that day. So Mom passed on April 24th, and she left the world a much better place and touched many lives. All right, so what Mom was, she was a believer in values and morals. Her values are instilled in all of us. She was an amazing teacher. She deeply cared about her students and insisted they receive a great education. She was a giver, donated time in teaching, but also tutoring and soup kitchens in retirement. She always had a desire to assist those in need. She had a capacity for kindness. She was an eager learner. She was always empathetic to difficult situations. However, she expected people to put forth effort and accept some accountability. And I remember when I fell, you learn many life lessons from Mom and Dad. And I remember falling on my bike with training wheels at 4, and I cried, and they were on top of me, and it's like, they opened the door, closed the door, closed the door, and finally said, "You can get up." I got up, it's like life lesson learned right there. Accept accountability, toughen up, kid. She was a writer, and her stories touch us all. She was a great partner for Dad, and they both loved adventures. She was a great mom, even greater grandma. Matter of fact, there are none better. All the grandkids are here, and they'll attest to it. She loved family and friend reunions. She's smiling down on all of us as we celebrate her life with happiness. Thanks to all that could attend. She definitely appreciates it. Who's next?
Oh, I'm Erica. I'm Claudia's eldest granddaughter, as I wrote in my emails from her when I was very young. I was looking back at the emails I wrote her when I was 9 years old, and I always signed it, "Your pen pal and eldest granddaughter." She would not know who I was. And she She called me Purple Sparky Girl, and that's my sharing for you. You shared Mikey Pie. She called me Purple Sparky Girl because that was my email when I was 9. Okay. Whew. Oh, great. It is hard for me to think of what to say. Bits and pieces come to me in flashes, but when I sit down to write it out, words escape me. How am I supposed to capture you and what you meant to me and to all of us? Words, they were your forte, but I will try. One of my first memories of Grandma was her response to me saying as a little kid, "I'm bored." To which she responded with a stern look, "There's no such thing as boring, only boring people." With eyes wide, I ran and found something to do. Of which there was always something to do. Some books to read, something to paint or cook, dress up, tea parties. Granny could never be considered boring. She was as lively and as fiery as they come. Doing a little jig, giggling all the while, prancing about. She never met a stranger. After one conversation, she'd made a new friend and invited them earnestly to come visit if they were ever passing through Oregon, and would offer them a spoonful of her food. And they tried it. She noticed so much. She was a constant observer, but also an appreciator of the small things. We can see that in her writings and in her pictures. Capturing feelings, the in-between moments, the times you may not remember if not for her photos. Photos you maybe didn't want posted on Facebook when you were in middle school wearing Granny's borrowed underwear and bright pink sweatpants and big boots with a soft bikini. And that's why I'm taking all of your photos here today, so that's for Grandma. In her writings, we get a glimpse of her thoughts. The world was big and full of wonder. And certainly not just in the natural beauty, but she was a whiz with capturing human emotions. A passing moment to most everyone else was paragraphs full of detail. We are lucky that she wrote some of these down so we can live in her mind for just a little while. Granny gave me a false sense of what a home library is. Who was I to know?
That's right.
Who was I to know that 3,000 books, not an exaggeration, was not the norm? My dream library is always hers. Rooms full of books, all different genres, not all organized, so you would stumble upon a magic find each new time. Stacks up to the windows, falling over in the hallways. Grandpa tried to keep up with the bookshelves, but there were never enough. All Christmas and birthday presents were an assortment of books, and I loved it, and I miss it. But don't worry, Grandma, I frequent my local bookstores and Amazon. I'm only at around 400 books, but one day maybe. Sorry, Morgan. As much as I loved reading, my skills were always in math and science, but with Grandma, I felt safe to express all my creative ideas, writing stories and poems even. And each email that I sent her with the latest chapter of my latest writing, she would shower me with encouragement and new potential ideas. And the thing is, she fully meant it. Always encouraging the creative side to my type A personality. Encouraging us all to let loose, be a little wild, let our hair down. She was absolutely so proud of her grandchildren, whatever their endeavors. Sports games, art, writings, whatever our extracurriculars were, she approved, and she was your biggest cheerleader. She let all the grandkids climb into bed with her in the mornings at the ranch and would tell us stories. There's nothing I wouldn't give for one more reading of The Giving Tree. Or one more rewatch of Eloise in the Plaza laying on the floor of the camper. I could keep on going with my favorite memories, but the sheer amount just simply cannot be captured in writing. And for that I'm grateful that we all have more to reflect on. I know you will always be with me, Granny. You aren't leaving me alone. I see you in books and in yarn and in tubs of ice cream of every flavor, in a little girl's rosy cheeks and a giggle, and a butterfly fluttering, and flowers on the side of the road, a bug that creeps me out, but you would have found fascinating and collected it for your bug bowl. My whole life I've looked up to you. You have always been and always will be the coolest person. You were unapologetically yourself in all situations, and you could not be matched in spirit or in love. only everyone had a chance to know you and to love you. But for my time, I'm forever thankful. That's it. Okay, who's next?
Okay. Lindsay, I am Mike's other child. Third grandchild. Okay. I actually wrote this but converted it a bit, but I was able to fly to see Grandma before she passed. So I wrote this and actually read it to her. Oh, dear Grandma, I love you. I wish I had even a sliver of your talent for writing so I could make this letter sound as beautiful as the twinkle in your eyes when you were in a room full of family. Your ability to bring a room full of people together, whether they are family or strangers, is a quality many people wish to claim, but you truly embodied what it meant to bring people together. If I lost you in the grocery store, I knew you're never too far, probably just talking to a cashier or a customer who was browsing the same aisle as you. I'll never forget the summer you told all the cousins we'd have additional guests that year. I was confused. Who are these new people joining in our family tradition after many years of 6 cousins? You quickly reminded us to be accepting and welcome them to our family. This is the perfect example of how you love so deeply and indiscriminately. They're former students of you and Grandpa. Your love has such an impact it compelled former students to come visit you at your yearly family reunion, and not many people can say that. Thank you for holding family important to you. We will get to cherish the memories made with you and because of you. It is very heartbreaking being forced to cope with the sobering reality that time is finite, and there comes a point where the memories stop being made. Instead, we must remember. Luckily, everyone your life has touched has an entire treasure trove of memories. Going to visit you every summer was a highlight every year. I knew I could always count on a few weeks of forgetting about real life and go to Grandma's house for spuds and peas, crab, the giant jar of M&Ms we would see handfuls from when we weren't meant to, the fancy apple juice in the glass bottle, and the chest freezer of gobs and gobs of ice cream flavors. I knew you would always be there with exactly what to say whenever the family games would go south and one of the brothers would end up making a cousin cry.
Oh yeah, true today. Still
That
true.
happened multiple times. Life isn't fair, and I wish you could still be here to continue making memories. We're lucky to have all your stories to remember you and your legacy forever. I'm glad I was able to see you one last time before you pass and even have you reciprocate a hug as best as you could. I wish I could hear you tell me you love me to the moon and back times infinity, and sew my hair under the skylight in the living room in Oregon one last time. I love you, Grandma, and I know I can always look to find you in the pretty trees, the roosters, and the moon.